All stand, please. Please be seated.
Yes, thanks, Mr. Reid. Yes, now, I think Mr. Tempano's taken a screenshot ready to work with, and I was asking for a mark where GPS point 53 is.
And I think you and Dr. Marsden Smedley had almost agreed on a point.
Yes, we had, and it was effectively just above the second A in the word inhala. I was asking if Mr. Tempano can put a mark in that position with an arrow going to it.
You happy with that, Dr. Marsden Smedley?
I'm just checking, Your Honour.
Yes, okay, take your time.
Yes. Can you put that mark there, Mr. Tempano, for me, please? Just above the A, above inhala. Can you run the arrow the other way? Yes, run it in a down towards. It needs to stop just above the A. Yes, just in there, and just put an arrow there, please, and put a 52 above the arrow.
53?
50, sorry, I keep doing that. 53 above the arrow.
My only comment is that the point of the arrow needs to be on the other side of the road.
Thank you. On the northwest side of the road.
That's right.
Can we do that, please? Thank you. And now, if we can repeat the process, please, for 54, which Dr. Marsden Smedley should be. Sorry, no, not document 54, Mr. Tempano. Sorry, my mistake. Back to the screenshot for waypoint 54. That Dr. Marsden Smedley will be just a little further up Inhala Road.
And on the same side.
And on the same side, just around the corner, around about there, Dr. Marsden Smedley.
A little more, but similar to that, yes.
About there. Thank you. If we can do the same with an arrow there. And a 54. Thank you. Now, if we can then go to 55, please. That's in the Woodvine Nature Reserve, which is Dr. Marsden Smedley up and to the right of the large A that sits there. Is that so?
It'll be further. I think it's probably off that map, but I'm not sure. I need to
have a look at your coordinates, please.
9.
Your Honour, if it's of any assistance to my friend, I think the topographical map that we saw last week actually had Woodvine Nature Reserve written on it.
Right. Is that Mr. Hall's map, or?
Yes. No, I think it was shown to Mr. Hall, but I think it was also shown to Dr. Marsden Smedley, and in fact Dr. Marsden Smedley had produced it.
Thank you.
Yes, I think. It's on the very top boundary of the map. If you go, if a cursor goes to the right and about 1.5 kilometres, so 1.5 squares, keep going right. Now stop and now go up. It's going to be, well, and now go a bit right. It's approximately, it's about where that 8 is, underneath the 8.
Okay, so can we just do an arrow there with a 55, please? Now, is that the area you referred to in your evidence that you had mapped previously with a view to doing some controlled burns there?
Not there. The area I was looking at for doing controlled burns was more to the south of that.
Yes.
And more to the east. In the area, you can see the grid square immediately south of where the cursor is. It'd be roughly in the middle of that. And also in the grid square to the east of that. There are a series of very overgrown four-wheel drive tracks through there, which I investigated using. But the problem was I found the site was actually unsuitable for the planned burning research because of highly invasive weed that is a fire-promoted weed.
Can we move the cursor up a square, please? In there, that's the area that you speak of?
And the square to the east.
Right. So can we just run a green line across there, please, Mr. Tempone? It was around and on either side of that line.
I believe so, but I would have to check my notes, but I think that is correct.
Right, can we mark that, please, with a CB?
I know that when I did my assessment, I did actually go to the top of Mother Brown's Bonnet in 2006.
Right. Now, the 3 GPS points that we've marked on this screenshot, Dr. Marsden-Smedley, do not fall within the fire footprint as it was mapped at 1535 on the 3rd, do they?
That's correct.
And none of your waypoints fall within that footprint, do they?
No.
Just to be strict about this, that was a yes. You agreed with my proposition.
That is correct. None of my waypoints fall. Yes, that is.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. I tend to that.
Yes, thank you.
And if we look at those waypoints closest, if you look at plot 32A, 33, 32B, 34 and 35, you look at those, they are the other waypoints closest to the area mapped at 1735 on the 3rd, aren't they?
I would have to check my map to confirm that, but if you're saying so, okay.
Well, you remember that you did that you made observations and you took data collection at sites along the Arthur Highway heading towards Copping.
I did, and including at the saddle where you go over onto Downey's place where the pine plantations are. I think that's where those waypoints are, but again, I would have to, I could have to pull them up on my computer, which will show me precisely where they are on the map.
Well,
but yeah, I believe that is the case, yes.
Yes, thank you. Now, could the witness please be shown document 101, photo 65. You see the area to the southeast of, maybe even to the east and southeast of 242 White Hill Road.
Yes, that photo is looking approximately northeast, I think. Is that correct?
Well, it's not really my job to answer questions, Dr. Marsden-Smedley, but let me try and help you. If one looks at the Barrett House, 242,
Yes.
I think it's generally accepted in this case that that looks away to the left of the photograph in a general northerly direction.
That's right. That house is orientated north, south, east, west. Yes.
Yes. So the area that I'm drawing your attention to is an area where you can see some roads combining. If Mr. Tempone can move his cursor, keep going further down and across. Yes, an area from about there that runs in a general triangle up towards 244 across to the south and back to the east.
Towards the northeast, yes.
Towards the northeast, yes.
Yes.
Yes. So if we can just draw across what I've just described, please, screenshot it and save it. Yes, and turn now to the right, please. Keep going across to what appears to be a large tree. Keep going across to the right. Keep going in that direction, please. Keep going, right across the edge of the photograph. Now come back and join it up, please. Thank you. And can you extend the easternmost line? If we come up to the houses there, yep, no, come across the line, come across to the right, across to the right, come across to the right, keep going, and can we extend from there upwards a little bit, please? Yes, and now go across to the edge of from there, across to the edge. Thank you. Now, yep, keep going across there and then join back up. Thank you very much. Right back to the start. Perfect. Now, what is shown to the trees in that area is what is described by you as crown scorch.
Yes, I would call that a partial crown scorch.
Well, you'd put it as a number 3, would you not?
It's very hard to be totally sure, not being on the ground there at the time, but I believe that would be a partial crown scorch because I can see some crowns that appear to be unscorched and others that definitely are. But there's not a lot of crown fire in that, if any.
Thank you. And if there is any, where is it?
Just to the left of where the cursor is at the moment. But I would need a higher resolution picture to be completely sure, and I'd probably be able to get a better idea by looking at the high resolution aerial photograph that I used as the base for my mapping.
Right, well, could we get that up, please, for the doctor? Can you identify it, please, Dr. Marsden-Smedley?
Look for, I think the best one will be in my 4th report. I'm just going to have a quick look at my report because I think the one that's going to show it probably map 1. And can you please pull up the original figure that I sent in rather than the report, because the report will be compressed and the figures that I sent in accompanying the report will be higher resolution.
The fourth report was the addendum report, wasn't it?
No, the addendum report, this is the fourth report before the addendum got done.
Right.
And it is map 1. Now, is it possible to get the actual PDF I sent in of this image? It may not have been listed. The reason for saying that is purely that when you put it into a Word document,
Yeah, I understand that, Dr. Marsden. I think try 138, please, Mr. Timpano. Is this it?
I believe so, yes, and it does show the area in question.
Right. So now you want that in a higher resolution?
Zoomed in, please. Okay, that should do.
We just take that a little further to the bottom, please. Thank you. That's fine. Thank you. Now, Dr. Marsden-Smedley, first of all, the area marked 2 is a smaller area than that marked in the exhibit that we just looked at.
That's right.
And the area marked 2 illustrates your conclusion as to where the fire was at 3 p.m.
That's right.
Right. Now, within that area 2, do you see any crown fire?
No.
Thank you. And
remember, that's the fire front at that time.
yes, yes. Thank you. And do you see crown fire under the 11?
There is an area shortly below, if your cursor goes down, please. Down, down, down there. But again, I would have to look at, to be sure, I would have to see the really high resolution image, and I may need to actually look at the one that's the original 20 centimetre pixel aerial photograph mosaic, but that is probably crown fire there.
Right. To look at the original mosaic, you'd need to look on your own computer, would you?
I did supply it on request, so I don't know if you've got it up. It's an ECW format image.
Right, but you've got it on your computer.
I've got it on my laptop, which is over in the other office. Yes.
Well,
Your Honour, if it's of any assistance to my friend, I'm told that Mr. Ioannidis has the original file that Dr. Marsden-Smedley sent to him, and I'm told it's in PDF. So it's still not the original file.
If it's been, is that the PDF of this image or the PDF of the aerial photograph mosaic?
I'm told it's the PDF of this image. Yes. So I think the original mosaic might need to go to Dr. Marsden Smedley's computer.
All right. Well, I'll retire for a couple of seconds to allow Dr. Marsden Smedley to get that organised. Thank you.
Stand, please.